If you're dealing with knee pain and stiffness, then we have 3 stretches that we're gonna get relief with today. The first one's not a stretch, it's don't stretch the quad. Okay, so now if you're having knee pain, then we're getting a lot of compression here at the kneecap. Most of the time it's at the kneecap, we're having problems on the inside or the front. And when we do a quad stretch, we're pulling on that. So we think about it like your pants being pulled in the back. So if we're tight back here, all these muscles are tight, they're putting pressure on that kneecap, and then I grab my leg and I start stretching my quad, and I'm just compressing and packing it down in there. So we want to avoid stretching the quad when we have active knee pain and stiffness. Avoid stretching the quad, please. Now, number 1 is a hamstring stretch. So we want to get into our hamstring. We can do it 2 different ways. So going right here and then coming down into it. So now I'm getting my hamstring stretch. Low load, long duration, that creates tissue change. So I'm going to loosen up the hamstrings right here, because if it's tight, it's pulling on that kneecap. I'm going to take that stress off of it by loosening up my hamstrings. The other one is just do it in standing. Now I can lean out to the side and be able to get into that hamstring muscle, or I can come straight down. So I guess there's 3 options. Coming straight down, touching my toes. If I use the hamstring a little bit, like just for 5 seconds, I'm gonna be able to get a little bit deeper. So that's how we're gonna stretch our hamstring. And we wanna do 3 sets of 30 seconds. That's how we're gonna get real tissue change. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on these videos. There's really impactful stuff that'll allow you to get out of pain and do it quickly. Now, number 2 is a calf stretch. So we want to loosen up the back of that calf. So across in the knee, we got our hamstrings coming all the way down to here. We got our calf coming across right here. We don't want that pull in the back, so we got to loosen up the muscle belly right here as well. So what I'm going to do is get against a countertop, the door, a wall, something, and I'm pushing that heel down into the ground. I'm going to hold this for 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna bend my knee and hold it for 30 seconds. So the majority of it, if we wanna get quick and dirty, we wanna stretch it with the knee straight. But to get the full calf, we wanna bend the knee for 30 seconds. The same thing, we're gonna do that. We're gonna be stretching that calf, and we're gonna do it 3 sets of 30 seconds. Now, number 3, we're gonna do a groin stretch. So thinking about the same thing with our pants, with our knee, it's being compressed. The inside of the knee right here, we have a lot of these adductor muscles coming across. So I wanna loosen up that muscle. So what I won't do is this. That's putting pressure on the inside of the knee. That's gonna cause me problems and cause you a lot of irritation. So it's really important that we're doing stretches the right way and we're not causing irritation in your knee. None of these stretches should hurt. You should stop them if they do hurt. But make sure that you're getting in good positions. And so a good position right here is just coming out like this. I'm gonna actually lengthen through my groin area, so I'm coming back and opening up my hip, but I'm keeping my foot in a good neutral angle. So my second toe is in line with my kneecap, so it's going straight up. And then now I've set that position, and then I'm coming and opening up my hips right here. And so I'm feeling a stretch right here through my groin and all my adductor muscles. I'm gonna hold that for 30 seconds. I take about a 10-second rest with all these stretches, about a 10-second rest, and then I get right back into it for 30 seconds. Now, another option, if we wanna be quick and dirty and we wanna get the hamstrings and we wanna get the adductors at the same time, then I'm gonna come out like this, and then I'm gonna reach over to the side and open that up. Now I'm doing my 30-second stretch, and what I can do is do 30 seconds right here, and then I can do 30 seconds coming across. So now you see that my foot is actually bending like that. I'm not putting pressure on the inside of my foot. That would be the problem, putting pressure on the inside of my foot and putting pressure on and stress really on my knee. So I can do this right here and pull on that adductor without putting that stress on my knee, and I can loosen up that muscle. So if we want to just condense those 2 stretches for our adductors and for our hamstrings, we can do that. We're doing 3 sets of 30 seconds each direction, and then we're doing the calf. We can get it all done in one fatal swoop. Now, bonus, let's roll that sucker out, okay? Let's loosen up the hamstring. If we're rolling these muscles out, if we're loosening up that tissue before we stretch it, we're gonna get a heck of a lot more out of the stretches. So what I'm gonna do is roll out my hamstring right here. So I'm gonna sit on it right here, the muscle belly right here. I want to loosen this up, and I think about it in 3 lanes. So I'm coming here, here, and here. I'm going to get up on a table, something that's a little bit stiffer than this. This actually does get kind of stiff. So I got a lacrosse ball. You can do a foam roller, but lacrosse ball is really pinpoint. And I'm going to glide forward and then straighten my knee out, just loosen that up. I do 10 of these, just loosening up that muscle tissue. I'll get on the inside. loosen up that muscle tissue, 10 of them, and then on the outside, loosen up the muscle tissue. And then I'm going to do the other side. So now I've loosened up my hamstring. Now I can do my hamstring stretch. I want to pair them in that way. I want to loosen up the muscle and then stretch it out. So we do that consistently. We're actually going to get tissue change. We're going to take a lot of stress off your knee, a lot of strain, a lot of irritation that's happening with that inflammation that's happening on the front of the knee. It's really coming from the back. So we need to loosen that up. Bonus number 2 is rolling out the quad. So we were talking about we weren't going to stretch the quad because there's a negative implication to stretching the quad, that we're going to compress that together. We're going to compress the knee if we're stretching the quad. So instead of stretching it, I'm just going to do soft tissue work on the quad. And so I'm going to loosen it up. Same 10 swipes right here, 10 swipes on the inside, 10 swipes on the outside. So now I've been able to loosen up that quad and get rid of some of that tension in it. I'm just not going to stretch it just yet because I want to get rid of the pain before I start causing any compression right there. It is important that later on we start pairing it with some stretches, but you got to be out of pain. And with this video, we're looking to get pain relief in the first day, right off. So putting our knee under stress by stretching the quad just doesn't really fit. Now the third bonus is actually loosening up the calf. So I'm going to get right here and I'm going to dig out that calf on the inside, 10 swipes. On the middle, 10 swipes, and then 10 swipes on the outside, loosening that up. Now remember, when we do soft tissue work, I'm just loosening up all this tissue right here. It takes about 30 seconds to do it. It's not that long. I'm loosening up that muscle tissue, and then I do my stretches. In the beginning right here on day 1, when we're loosening up that stiffness and getting rid of that pain, we're just not stretching the quad, but we're loosening everything up. You can also roll out your adductor right here. When you're doing your quad, you can get here, you can get into that adductor a little bit as well. And that's just one line right on the inside. It's hard to get an angle coming across like this. So we just, at the clinic, we just have people come right here on the inside and loosen that up. So you got really 4 bonuses right there. We got our 3 stretches. So we're going to stretch our hamstring, right? We're going to stretch our calf, and we're going to stretch our adductors coming out like this. But then if we really want to get the best out of it, then we're going to roll out our quad. We're going to roll out our adductors. We're going to get a ball and get more leverage on it. When I do this, I can't get too much leverage. So just sitting on this lacrosse ball, if you don't have a lacrosse ball, then rolling that out is the next best thing. So digging that out and then actually rolling out that calf. And if I do that, I'm going to get a heck of a lot more out of all of my stretches. I just lost a ball there. So I'm going to get a lot out of those stretches. So make sure you hit subscribe. We're going to be putting out content consistently on how you can get out of pain, get you moving in the right direction. Make sure you check out our other videos on this page about sciatica, back pain, and knee pain. We want to get you out of pain, but we want to keep you out of pain. See you in the next video. Get mobile and stay active.